Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164. Hit that like button and share this to whatever social media page you have. It doesn't matter if you got one or two people, just go ahead and share it. All I'm doing right now is just giving a couple updates of some of the stuff that I've been seeing going on in social media and in the world, right? Uh, and basically, if we don't have a plan, if we don't have an understanding of the promise of the future, just looking at what's going on in society, you'll probably lose your mind. You'll probably go crazy because you're probably looking at your survival as tied to the success of this American system, and it's just not true. But if you don't know history, if you just go by the narrative that you're fed in, in the predominant American culture from the government, from the controlled media that they provide from us, from the education that they control. You see, we got to understand that these folks have been inputting into our minds, inputting into our systems of uh, of influence. They've been doing this for mostly all of our lives. If you grew up in this nation, and then your local area, if you grew up whatever local area, then you're going to be getting those inputs as well. So just like right now, Dr. Shiva Ayudure, I put a link in the description for his lawsuit. He he ran for senator for Senate in Massachusetts during the last election, and he's a systems management expert. Okay, and this guy, he found that there was election fraud in his case. He challenged the government. He put the evidence on Twitter and was immediately banned from Twitter. Uh, this kind of guy, he's not the type of guy to take things like that sitting down. So he launched a lawsuit. I encourage people to look at that lawsuit because it shows that the censorship that we see that's on social media and stuff, it's not from those social media platforms, the businesses themselves. It's the government forcing them to do this banning of our free speech. And they use the company as cover to control the narrative. And so this type of media, the way that they're using this media is violating the First Amendment right. And so that's what that man's lawsuit is about. Go ahead and check that out to see if are interested in that. And see that lets us know there's a thing called the social contract in Western world governments, and that comes from some of their philosophers. These are their white philosophers, and they built their nation based upon their rational mind. You got John Locke, Thomas Hobbes, Rousseau. You can look those up, look at some videos on that, or read some literature on those guys. But the bottom line is, people are they basically say people agree to the the to follow the rules, the restrictions of society in exchange for the protections of a society, even if some of those restrictions are not something that they like or what have you. So, this is the kind of contract that they set up. Now, the thing is, the black social contract is different from what the white social contract is in the United States because it's a racist nation. And so, these are the type of concepts that we have to understand. So, when the dysfunction of this social society starts to display itself, which, maybe 100 years ago, even 50 years ago, well, 50 years ago, it was easily seen too. But for maybe white people, they got the benefits of the social contract. 50, 100 years ago, they were sitting on cloud nine. Okay. but it still was a dysfunctional system. So now that the system can't continue to provide even for them, and the reason why I can't provide for them anymore is because we are not satisfied anymore in being stolen from. We were sick of our labor being stolen. And so as we push back, they're going to fall. This is this has to happen. So what can you do? Our job, if you are part of those people who are on the lower levels of society, our job is to train ourselves and to train our children on how to rule and run and manage our own affairs. There are parts of your affairs that you never had to manage, such as you outsourced your protection to the state, you outsourced your education to the state, you've outsourced your, even the growing of your food. You don't know exactly where your food comes from, how to make it, how to grow it. You know, these are basic fundamental things that every human being in society must know in order to survive. You would have been dead if you didn't know how to do this. And this is how this uh, system is able to control you. So anyway, that's something that is important for us to understand. We got to understand that as they naturally kind of crumble, our job is to try to uplift ourselves and to train ourselves to understand how to take over those roles. Another thing that kind of happened was Dr. Boyce Watkins got he made a comment on he made a little video on uh, Kwame Brown, the way that Kwame set up his title to one of his videos, because Kwame's been making a bunch of videos, and I'm about done with Kwame. But I mean, he's saying some stuff, but he's not. You don't know what the hell he's talking about on a lot of stuff, a whole lot of stuff. You don't know what the hell he's talking about because he's just start coming out on this side of speaking, and it's good that he's speaking his mind and everything, but it's like he don't know what the hell he's everything what he's talking about. So anyway, he's talking about Boyce. He put N word inside his title on YouTube. So, but Boyce Watkins made a video talking about Kwame putting the N word, and he could get his channel canceled. Kwame comes back and was offended by it, basically. And the thing is, though, sometimes we can have these kind of conversations. We know certain people, they just talk a certain way, and we don't get offended because they cuss and everything because it's a personal interaction. But Kwame, he got like about almost like 150,000 subscribers, and he's a big voice now in social media and in the media. And he could talk his normal way, but it gets complicated because you can't take it just as a little. That's just him, how he talking, because he's talking his normal way, but it causes problems, it causes issues. And so when he kind of goes against Boyce and starts talking, kind of lumping Boyce in with with all the other, and then it doesn't make sense because obviously he don't know Boyce, he don't know the history. And he talking about Boyce could have contacted him as if Boyce on a first name basis with him. But in the same video, he says, well, if you didn't know how to contact me, you should just be quiet. Well, then you would have got your because Kwame did change the title. So the thing is, so that happened, and I put the links in those videos, and you decide what you think. I think Boyce did the right thing, but yeah, of course he's going, Kwame putting it out there so everybody else can talk about his situation. So Boyce talked about it. So what the hell you pissed off about, Kwame? He didn't get nobody no roadmap. He gave you the roadmap to protecting yourself. So anyway, so that happened. You got this mass shooting out here, right here where I work at in San Jose, and damn Guy, and it's funny, you know they're white because I haven't even seen no pictures of the guy. Because the way they handle them is different from the way they handle our people when we do something crazy as hell. So this dude, he killed 8 people at his job. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Press the thumbs up, share the stream. I'm almost done. But yeah, he killed 8 people at the job, and then he killed himself. Like I said, the fall of society. 9 dead, including gunmen. You see, they include him as a human being. An employee carrying out multiple guns. He had multiple guns open fired in a mass shooting at a Santa Clara Valley Transportation Authority light rail facility in San Jose Wednesday morning, about 6 in the morning. That's when he did that. He killed 8 workers and injuring several others. You see, so this is the type of stuff that's been going on. So they've been blasting, this is the fall of society. People going crazy. Everybody got all kinds of pressure on them. You never know when that pressure will bust, and you never know when this whole thing will collapse. You have another situation where, you know, I think it was like, well, I mean, basically, we just got a lot of situations going on in the United States of America. We just got to understand that this is part of decades and centuries of dysfunction. It's just like a big old tangled knot, and the universe doesn't care. It's if you create this backlog of injustice, it's going to untangle your knot somehow, and that means you're going to have the systems collapsing, and that's what's going on. So, I just wanted to touch base with everybody. Just put out a couple pieces of information, and that's it. So, all right, y'all. Let me know what you think. Go ahead and comment and share the message. Peace.